Gentlemen, I commend the diligence with which you have prepared your fiscal year 2013 budget, shaped as it was by the Defense Department's strategic guidance and the initial round of cuts required by the Budget Control Act, cuts which I recognize as necessary. However, it is important that we work together to make sure that these cuts are made to programs and installations in a manner that minimizes risk to our national security and future readiness. My district borders Hansom Air Force Base, a facility which can uniquely leverage local assets such as the numerous defense firms and exceptional universities nearby, including MIT's Lincoln Labs, which is located on-site, to research and develop cutting-edge capabilities. It is an ideal site for cybersecurity R&D, an area in which the Department seeks to increase spending while so many cuts are being made elsewhere. We have incredible capability and value-added technology that we should be growing at Hansom, because technology is even more important in a smaller military, which is what the strategic guidance and the budget envision. However, a February 21 article in the Boston Globe revealed that internal Air Force documents showed that Hansom would sustain a double hit, a loss of 380 government positions and a 74% decrease in funding for contractor services over the next 4 years. My office, along with Representative Markey and Representative Tierney's offices, have jointly requested a briefing to learn more about these cuts, and we look forward to it. But as you are both here, could I ask, given that Greater Boston has an extraordinarily skilled workforce, one of the best in the world, and that we're in a world that needs less boots and planes and more intelligence and cyber, why isn't Hansom growing?
Ma'am, we, as the Chief articulated, Hansom has been and it remains an important center for us. The electronic security complex there is extremely important. But I would say that it has faced the results of the AFMC restructure and the requirement for us to take down 16,000 civilian spaces across the Air Force, which we have been working through over the last year or so. And we also recognize that Hansom has been hit by programmatic impacts in areas where programs have been restructured or canceled. So we have been working through with General Davis a broader assessment of the capabilities at Hansom and of the surrounding community, the impact of the program reductions that are coming there, to understand how we can best fit the workforce with the available work going forward, and build a plan for how to take that forward. So General Davis has had this mandate from the Chief and I since he arrived last year.
General Schwartz, would you like to add anything?
I think that clearly, and we heard earlier a question regarding electronic warfare, command and control, software, enterprise resource planning systems. All these very important kinds of capabilities are the expertise that resides within C.R. Davis's organization, and that is not going to change. But I would just reiterate that we are getting smaller, and so those reductions will be reflected at Hansom as they are at the other locations that have been addressed here.
Well, as we wrestle with this, I know the Hansom community wants to work with you. Is there anything that it should do in particular to expand its mission, to help the Air Force be successful in these challenging times? Is there anything you would suggest?
I think the same thing we would require, ma'am, from any of our acquisition enterprises, and that is to produce on cost, on time, and to have successful programs, not ones that are subject to termination or restructure.
Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your service. But I am very, very concerned